Good boy. Yeah. Good job, bud. There we go. That's the lower tunnel. Hey everyone, welcome to another adventure with MinerBiker. There's finally snow in the mountains. So, I am out in the desert now. We're out in the East Desert, San Rafael Swell. Got me, both of the dogs, and we've got the Fezzari Kings Peak fat bike all geared up for an epic day in the desert with extra dog water. We're good to go. So where we're at right now, we're at the head of Sinbad area. Happen to have some beautiful Native American petroglyphs right here on this cliff face. Just beautiful up there. Gorgeous area. There's this great big flat right here that I-70 runs through. The top of the Devil's Racetrack is right over there. Eagle Canyon, Swayze Cabins right over that way. What we're doing today is we're looping the top of Cane Wash to the top of Coal Wash, and then we're gonna go down Coal Wash a ways and then climb up the Devil's Racetrack back to here. Should be about a 25-ish, somewhere around there, mile loop out here in the desert. Should be fun. Epic fat biking now that winter has arrived in the mountains. It's desert season. This is a small adventure in and of itself, threading your fat bike through a walkthrough. Real fun. And we made it. Got parked over where you come through the old blocks underpass under the freeway. Rode over here to the petroglyphs to start the video. Now we're going to loop around what's called Locomotive Point over here. Drop off into the top of Cane Wash. Old double track, old OHV trails out here. A lot of them started off as old exploration, drilling, and mining routes. But they are pretty epic, especially on a fat bike. Perfect thing to ride out here. Obviously winter cattle range too. Just to the east a little bit, got another little panel right here. This one you can see how the sandstone's been breaking off. Only about half of them still there. Makes you wonder how many more were here that are completely gone now. Oh, that's a wash. Good boy, Hooker. Such good doggies. You guys are loving it. Being nice and cool. Alright, we're going to go through the cliffs here and start descending into the top of Cane Wash. I've rode this route before, but it's been a couple years. I've rode and videoed Devil's Racetrack. Rode it a few times, videoed it a few years ago. I have not videoed this loop with Devil's Racetrack. fat bike. Big soft tires combined with that Manatee fork up front. And you can ride some amazing terrain that no other bike could ride very well. I really need is for MRP to build a fat bike with a fork. The MRP Ribbon SL fork that I have on my Signal Peak, if they made that in a 150 mil wide fat bike width, that'd be a sweet fat bike fork. Besides, I'm really digging the MRP stuff that I got on my other bikes. Just need to talk them into making a 150 mil wide Ribbon SL. I'll be in business. Hello there. Yes, sir. How are you guys?
Good. Good. Mike.
Hello. Nice to see some kindred spirits out here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What route you guys doing?
Secret Mesa Loop.
Nice. Well, cool. Happy Thanksgiving too.
You too. Enjoy your ride.
Best way to spend it, in my opinion.
Have fun.
You guys have fun too.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Bike packers! Riding on fat bikes. Yes. So good. Oh, these landscapes out here in the San Rafael Swell, some of the greatest you'll see anywhere. It's magnificent out here. Oh, this kind of reminds me of the Jeep Road section, the whole enchilada. Wash Trail heads to the right and it continues north down Cane Wash. We're going to turn here to the left, head over towards Fix It Pass and Coal Wash. Big old alcove in the cliff right ahead of us. Feels good to be out in the desert again. Had a magnificent season of mountain riding. It is nice to be back out here. I love it out here. Good spot for a break. So that's looking back the way we came. That's the pass over there that we dropped down through. Looking off to the east. And this little pass that we're in. Out beyond us, out that way is Sid's Mountain Wilderness area. We're gonna drop down here. This road actually is the boundary of the wilderness. And it's gonna curve around and go that way up to Fix It Pass. But everything out that way is Sid's Mountain Wilderness. Then you got Skyline Drive in the distance with snow on it. So pretty. You guys ready for some dog water? Your face is dusty, buddy. That's what you get for running right behind me. Up ahead, just to the right of center. The one on the right is the Devil's Monument. The one on the left is Jonah's dog. This is the right angle, kind of looks like a person standing with a dog sitting next to him, named after Joe Swayze, cowboy homesteader that lived out here, built the Swayze cabin. We'll see those again from another angle when we're around into Coal Wash on the other side of it. And again, it's good to just keep in mind and be respectful of everything on the north side of this road along here, and then Coal Wash. Everything in the north is wilderness area. So if you want to go explore out there, make sure you do it on foot. On horse if you have one. Don't take your bicycle. Alright, now we're gonna climb up through this little valley here up to our left, up to and over Fix It Pass. into the very top of Coal Wash. Oh, buddy, it's a good little grunt up into Fix It Pass. Yeah, boys. This is named Fix It Pass because this is the south side of it. It's very technical for Jeeps and side-by-sides to get through. We call it Fix It Pass because if you ride this on a big 4x4, you're probably gonna, there's a good chance you might have to fix something during or after getting through this. Shouldn't be any big deal for going down on a bicycle. Yeah, this stretch right here is why it's called Fix It Pass. Good boy, buddy. And no problem at all on a fat bike. Now we're in the top of Coal Wash. Sometimes I'll have to ride this thing the other direction when I'm not burning limited winter daylight. Ride this in the other direction and see if we can clean it going up that. It's definitely climbable on a fat bike. Other bikes have a hard time in the loose sand and stuff between the big rocks. I think a fat bike can definitely do it. The fat bike really earns its keep out here riding down the wash bed. Other bikes be getting bogged down, struggling in the sand, and the fat bike just rolls along like there's nothing to it. Cruising smooth and easy down Coal Wash. Almost to Slipper Arch. We'll stop there, check that out. Devil's Racetrack's up on top of that cliff up to our left. We'll be heading back up. There is Slipper Arch straight ahead. Big, thick arch. That is Slipper Arch. A pretty big, cool arch. It's amazing how thick it is. Super thick. And up Coal Wash and down Coal Wash where we're still going. Alright, continuing on down the canyon. They're a ways further. You get lower in Coal Wash, you start getting some cottonwood trees down in here. Come out here in like October, November, early November, and you can actually get some fall colors, which would be really pretty. And also, especially if you come out in the spring, after you've had some winter snow out here, a lot of times there's water seeps out here. There's places where there's year-round water too. That's a little fewer and further between. Especially in the springtime, you can find water seeps that then dry up through the summer. It's cool. You get these cottonwood trees down through here. Their leaves change and everything, so you can come out here and get fall colors. Almost where Devil's Racetrack comes down. There's a little seepage right there. Yeah, the ground's wet. It's such a huge winter. Not surprising there's still a little seepage right now. Lots of those cottonwood trees. Still a little fall color. Ah, it's pretty. Kind of sulfury water down in there. It smells pretty strong. But there's water. Whew, that stinks. Smelly stuff. There's a turn off to Devil's Racetrack right there on the left. But before we head up Devil's Racetrack, I'm going to detour over here real quick to something really cool. We're going to leave the bike right here, just a couple hundred yards down Coal Wash from the Devil's Racetrack turnoff. So since we're leaving the wash, this is going into a wilderness area off the approved route. So that's why we're leaving the bike behind. But this is definitely worth a little side trip up here to what is the ZCMI mine site out here. Following along what is actually an extremely old wagon road. Now just a faint old trail that goes up here to this old mine site. So there's a little small mountain in front of us is where the mine is located. As you notice, it's a different type of rock and different color of rock than all the other Navajo sandstone around here. Definitely a little different. From what I've been able to dig up on this place, there's not very much information, but from what I've seen for the geology, this is actually an extinct geyser from back during the time when the San Rafael Swell was uplifting. That's what would have brought all the mineralization and stuff to the surface. Kind of interesting. This is cool right here. So there's this old rock shelter. The little wooden window and stuff right there. Here's the inside of the rock shelter. Pretty cool looking. What you think, buddy? So if anybody's familiar with their Utah history, ZCMI was a department store chain that got started way back in kind of the pioneer days of Utah. Stood for the Zion Cooperative Mercantile Institution, ZCMI. Since gone out of business, although the old ZCMI building is still there in downtown Salt Lake. But this mine, it's also called the ZCMI mine, but the people who established it, who were not the greatest fans of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's mistakenly nicknamed the Mormon Church. They call it Zion's Collection of Mormon Idiots, is what their ZCMI stood for, apparently. Alright, so here's the lower tunnel of the ZCMI mine. There's two tunnels you can still actually get into. I think it's pretty much about all there actually was. There's a couple other small digs, and it looks like one old shaft that's been buried or never really went anywhere. But there are two tunnels here. Flip on the headlamp. We'll go have us a little peek. I've been in these before. They're pretty nice and solid. Nothing too sketchy or anything in them. They are fairly low profile. They were trying to mine copper in these, similar to copper globe and sorrel mule, both of which we've already been to before and videoed. So make sure to check out those videos. It will be linked. There's these 3 old copper mines out here. There's a little pit down there. It doesn't really go very far. Some old timbering across it. And that's pretty much all you got. It ends right there. And it ends again right there with some old timbers. You can see all the mineralization in here. Lots of it. But definitely not enough that they could ever do anything with. Don't you think, buddy? Oh, cool little spot in here. You can kind of see the seam of mineralization there. A little bit more down here. Some of the layering that they were following into here. Presumably they were trying to tunnel in from the sides of the hill to get in far enough to where they could intersect the pipe coming up through the middle of the geyser. Because that would have been where most of the mineralization was, but don't think they ever hid enough to make it worth it. Hey, Hook, come here, bud. That's a good boy. Yeah. Good job, bud. There we go. That's the lower tunnel. Not very deep or big, but still cool. You can see we got a little bit of tailings coming down the mountainside here. I'm pretty sure these came from a little shaft up here that was filled in. Like you can't see much of anything. If I remember correct. From the last time I was here. Yeah. Just got this little shaft here on the top. It just goes to right there. That may have been all it ever was. May have at one time been deeper, who knows? Not a ton of material pulled out. The amount of material that's there, that's probably all it ever was. There's that little bit. Here's this other upper tunnel here. Here you can really see the mineralization and discoloration of the rock. How much different it is from the white Navajo sandstone. Hey, let's go see what's in there, bud. This one really doesn't go very far at all. Got a few old cedar wood timbers as well in here. It just goes to right there and ends. The big pack rat nest. Well, that's pretty much it for the ZCMI mine site. Pretty much it. Cool little site though. Alright, so with that upper tunnel, that's pretty much it. If you go around this other side of the hill, there's one more tiny little prospect where they just dug in a tiny little bit. Really not much of anything there other than just a couple wheelbarrows maybe worth of waste rock. Not much there. Pretty much just those 2 tunnels and that one bit of shaft and the old cool rock shelter down here. That's about it. In case anyone is interested, this would have been similar time frame to a lot of the other historical stuff going on out here with like Copper Globe and Sorrel Mule and the Swayzes that lived out here and stuff. So like early 1900s probably would have been the time frame for the ZCMI mine. One thing I saw said that it was actually the Swayze brothers, Joe Swayze and maybe his brother Sid, or I'm not sure if they had another brother or not. I know there's at least the 2 but it may have been them that actually mined this, but not completely sure. Not sure if anybody's completely sure. I'm not even 100% sure on the Zion's Collection of Mormon Idiots deal, but that's what Michael Kelsey says in his Hiking and Exploring San Rafael Swell book. So I assume he had some reason for saying it. All right, every bar back up the wash. Now we begin our climb up the Devil's Racetrack Trail. Whew! Man, I kept that going. I've ridden Devil's Racetrack a handful of times on a few different bikes, including when I videoed Devil's Racetrack. Honestly, I think I almost had more fun going up Devil's Racetrack than I do going down it. Just because it is one heck of a climbing challenge going up, trying to clean everything. Not saying it's not a lot of fun to come down. It's, for being an OHV double track, this thing is cool as heck. But for me, I get a kick out of climbing this thing, trying to clean it all. First time riding it on this fat bike. I climbed up this once before on my old Kings Peak. That was as part of a huge ride I did out here, where I linked together Avacon over Lower Coal Wash, Devil's Racetrack, and Eagle Canyon into one about 42-mile loop. It was absolutely marvelous. That was actually the last time I rode Devil's Racetrack. Been a couple years. There's the Devil's Monument on the right and Joe and his dog on the left over there. Climb that rock. I think you got a good grip on slick rock with normal bike tires. Try it with fat tires. love it. So good. The bike just eats it up. Oh yeah, so good. Nice. Yeah. Good job, bud. See if I can even come close to remembering the lines up through this. As it's been a few years. Oh. I'm going. Now, had to stop and session there a little, remind myself of the lines, but we did get it clean. Did ride the whole thing, so solid win. I would have been really surprised if I could just on sight that thing without having to remind myself of the lines on it. Yeah, bud. Almost there, huh? You're almost there. Stop pedaling! We kept it going. Yeah. Got a little chilly, had to put the clothes back on. Alright, this right here marks the high point of the Devil's Racetrack. And we gradually descend down into the valley at the head of Sinbad, back to where we go into the freeway to the truck. Oh, I like climbing up that thing. It's challenging, but definitely all doable. It's like 2 or 3 of them that are they're really pretty tricky to string the line combination together. Oh, it's just fun. It's so good for you to just, I mean, you're up off the seat, cranking, pushing, powering up stuff and everything pretty much the whole way up. Like 7 miles of trail. It's so good. Most mountain bikers probably would not like it one bit. Little ledgy section to go down. Run over those last few rocks. Now it's pretty much just a soft sandy cruise from here. This right up here is Dutchman Arch. That is Dutchman Arch here at the top of Devil's Racetrack. And there's the valley, there's the freeway right there. Just got to go back over that way just a little bit under the freeway. We'll be done for today. Under I-70 we go. Very sandy inside that box, but as usual, the fat bike doesn't care. Alrighty folk, there you have it for that loop around top of Cane Wash, top of Coal Wash, and then up Devil's Racetrack with a side trip to the ZCMI mine. That was fun, cool to be back out in the desert. It was such a magnificent year of mountain and forest riding, but it is always wonderful to come back out to the desert It is just as beautiful as the mountains, just in a very different way. Absolutely love it out here. Fezzari Kings Peak, absolutely crushed it. Fat bike is so good out here, especially fat bike like this that actually has pretty good geometry and the suspension fork and everything. So good. Doggies absolutely crushed it as well. Nice, cool dog conditions. Ah, so good. Anyways, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Make sure to check out the other videos. Will be linked in the cards of this one, like my whole San Rafael Swell playlist, my Devil's Racetrack video, my Copper Globe and Sorrel Mule Mine videos, that great big one, that huge loop I did with Eva Conover, Devil's Racetrack, and Eagle Canyon, that will be linked as well. And whatever else I throw up there is magnificent out here. Spent a lot of time out here, gonna keep spending a lot of time out here because it's so big you could spend a whole lifetime and not see all of the San Rafael Swell. It is utterly magnificent. Thank you for watching. Check out Fezzari Bicycles as always. Their Kings Peak is fantastic. If you subscribed already, thank you so much. If you haven't, I invite you to do so. It means a lot, helps a lot. Leave us a comment down below. Like that hit button for the trail dogs. Keep digging up new places to ride and adventure in the great outdoors under your own power is always the best.